It's the 23rd of December 2020, 2 days to Christmas. Hello and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from our studios here at Joy 99.7 FM in Accra. It's also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliate across the country, including Jubilee Radio in Keta, Radio Fumbisi in Fumbisi, and worldwide at myjoyonline.com. And coming up, with only 1 week from today to meet the 21 days deadline to file an election petition, the NDC reveals it will challenge the 2020 presidential election in court.
It will be
certainly so.
Right.
Right. From where I see the enormity of the workload that has been done to be able to, you just don't get up and go to court.
We'll hear from the MP for South Roxton, Daffy Amepo. And as the NDC continues with the street protests in Bogatanga and Nalerigu and Ho today, we'll hear from the majority leader in Parliament who has described them as pedestrian.
Check the record on the face of the pink sheets, and the party intends to go to court. That's what we did. That's the difference between mature leadership and what the NDC is doing now.
Also, electricity company justifies debt owed by some of its prepaid customers, citing reconciliation problem as the cause.
You can consume without the thing disconnecting. So as much as some are expecting it to trip and doesn't trip, doesn't mean the meter is not working. It is still recording.
More from them as they assure all concerns will be addressed to avoid a repeat of the situation, which forced many to stay in darkness for days. And also in the bulletin, for any child who is worried Santa Claus won't be able to come and deliver your Christmas present this year due to the COVID-19 situation, there's a message from the WHO.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
So it is really important that the children of the world still listen to their moms and dads and their guardians and make sure that they go to...
And much later here on the bulletin, Africanize and Christmas, will tell you how craftsmen in Kumasi are trying to promote indigenous dolls or Ikiaba as Christmas gifts.
These dolls you see are the African version of Christmas dolls. Aside being used as Christmas dolls, in our homes, like our young ladies, they also use it as a play toy.
We have details of all these and more, plus the latest in the world of sports in this half-hour package. And of course, this is your election headquarters. Those are sounds from NDC supporters chanting as they hit the streets of the regional capital of the Upper East region, Nalerigu, to protest against the 2020 election result. The supporters, clad in red, marched peacefully through the town as they accused the EC of colluding with the NPP in the polls. Here's MP-elect for Nalerigu Gambaga constituency, Alhaji Baba Seidu Isifu.
Fighting for justice, while fighting for fairness. We know very well that the current predicament of our democratic process is a source of worry for everybody. And we in Northeast region have decided to peacefully walk through the streets and go and present our version to the EC and let them know that we're not happy with the current happiness in Ghana.
And you had there the Member of Parliament elect for Nalerigu Gambara constituency, Alhaji Baba Seidu Isifu there. Now, the protest is not happening just in the Upper East region. There's also a protest in the Volta Regional Capital Hall today. The opposition has been continuing its demonstrations in protest of the outcome of the 2020 elections, which it says was rigged in favor of President Akufo-Addo. The party has come under intense pressure to halt a street protest and head to court for redress, but it's not backing down. We'll hear from our Volta Regional correspondent Fred Kwame Asari shortly, but earlier this is what protesters said when we spoke to them.
No peace. No peace. No peace. There can't be peace in Ghana.
And those are sounds from the protest in the Volta Regional Capital Hall. We'll be heading there shortly to speak to our correspondent to bring us up to speed with the protests around the country today in the Upper East region and also in the Volta Regional Capital Hall. But today, the NDC says it will go to court to challenge the outcome of the 2020 presidential elections. That's according to a member of parliament for South Dai and member of the NDC's legal team. Now, he says the party has done enormous work on the collated results as declared by the Electoral Commission chairperson and will go to court before the 21 days within which the election petition must be filed elapses. We'll hear from him shortly, but first, here's a report by my colleague Kweku Asante chronicling all that has happened since the 2020 election results was declared and the NDC's rejection of the outcome.
And by the power vested in me as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana and the returning officer of the presidential election, it is my duty and honor to declare Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as president-elect of the Republic of Ghana.
Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah, declaring President Akufo-Addo as validly elected president on 9 December. This was expected to bring to an end a tumultuous campaign period, but the NDC's rejection of the results ushered the country into a new phase of nationwide protests. The party's presidential candidate, John Mahama, described the election as flawed and the results fictitious.
And that is why I stand before you tonight, unwilling to accept the fictionalized results of a flawed election.
Party leaders urged their supporters to express their rejection of the results by pouring onto the streets to protest. Over the last 2 weeks, NDC executives have led supporters across the country from Sefi, Takwa, Kumasi, Tamale, and Accra to demonstrate against the results. The protests have been characterized by burning of ties and, in some instances, confrontation with the police, who accuse the NDC of breaching the Public Order Act. But the party's action have been criticized by several civil society organizations, including IDEC, which have urged the NDC to present their evidence of fraud and rigging to the courts and Electoral Commission for redress.
We join the voices of the sections of the public to urge the NDC to present their concerns to the courts for legal redress.
The latest protest was that of the NDC lawmakers who yesterday besieged the EC premises in a botched attempt to present a petition to the EC on the disputed Techiman South parliamentary election, which has been declared for the NPP.
This is the first time we have had election results changed 6 times by an embarrassing chairperson. So next time she comes to do a correction, we too will not accept it.
The minority have since held what they describe as a public collation of the Techiman South election, which they say shows their candidate won. The EC has since indicated it will begin an almost 1-month recess starting today, Wednesday, 23rd December to 19 January 2020. But on the substantive presidential election results the NDC have rejected, the party has only a week to present an election petition to the Supreme Court challenging the validity of the election result. Rule 68(2) of the Supreme Court Rules, CI 74, states, and I quote, "The petition shall be presented within 21 days after the declaration of the result of the election in respect of which the petition is presented." End of quote.
My colleague Kweku Asante filed that report. We can now hear from South Dai MP Roxanne Dafiameto, who's been speaking with Benjamin Akato on the AM show.
You see, the point he made.
Let's just make that point.
Yes.
Eventually, you will go to court because time is running out.
Time, we have 21 days. Why is everybody trying to stampede us to go into court?
No one is stampeding. No. It's a reality.
No, yes, but you have time. The Constitution says we have 21 days. Same provision has been amplified in CI 127, 21 days, and we are still within time. So let everybody be calm about that.
But the point to be made is that
you just don't get
before the exhaustion of the 21 days, the NDC will be...
Certainly so.
Right.
Certainly. Right. From where I sit, the enormity of the workload that has been done to be able to, you just don't get up and go to court.
And that's MP for Southern Roxanne Dafiamepo. Now, as you know, the Electoral Commission has indicated it will begin a recess or leave starting from today until the 19th of January. But it has come under criticism from 6 civil society organizations, including CDD Ghana, IDEC, Media Foundation for West Africa, and the Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition. The CSOs say it is unacceptable that the Commission should be shutting down at this critical moment. Suleiman Brahma is the Executive Secretary of the Media Foundation for West Africa, one of the CSOs that signed the statement and has joined us on the line with more on this. Mr. Brahma, there are some who argue that after such a hectic election period, the EC is justified in taking the break. So what exactly are your concerns with the Commission going on a break? Hello, Mr. Brahma, can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Brahma? We seem not to have the attention of Mr. Suleiman Brahma, the Executive Secretary of the Media Foundation for West Africa, one of the CSOs that signed the statement asking the Electoral Commission not to go on leave, or indicating that it is not a good time for the Electoral Commission to proceed on leave because it is a crucial time. We'll be getting the Executive Secretary to bring us more on their position, but the Electoral Commission issued a statement saying that following the successful conduct of the 2020 general elections, all the field staff of the Electoral Commission across the 275 district and the 16 regional capitals have worked tirelessly throughout the year in spite of COVID-19 and have been granted a well-deserved break. This break is aimed at promoting efficiency whilst reducing staff and administrative costs. The senior leadership and some key operational staff of the Electoral Commission will, however, continue to work during the break to engage with key stakeholders in pursuance of our mandate of the people of Ghana, and that is signed by the Electoral Commission. And we'll be bringing you more on this in our subsequent bulletin. Let's head now to the Northeast region, and NDC supporters chanting there as they hit the streets of the regional capital Nalerugu to protest against the 2020 election result. The supporters, clad in red, marched peacefully through the town as they accused the EC of colluding with the NPP in the polls. Here's MP for Nalerugu Gambaga constituency, Alhaji Baba Said. Well, we heard from him earlier. Let's go live now and speak to correspondent who joins us on the line. Tell us more, Ilyasu, about this protest today.
Well, the protesters marched to the office of the Electoral Commissioner to hand over their petition to the Electoral Commissioner here. And they are making clear 5 demands. One, they are saying that the presidential results were manipulated by the Commission against the NDC presidential candidate. They are also saying that the NPP presidential candidate never won the elections, and that the NDC shall not accept the flawed declared results for the presidential and some parliamentary elections. And they are also saying the NDC demands an immediate recollation of the presidential results as captured on statements of polls at the polling station across the country. And they are also asking the EC to recollate these particular following constituency: the Techman South constituency, the Techifiaso constituency, Esikado Ketan constituency, and Zabzogo constituency in the northern region. They are saying that anything short of this particular demand, they are going to continue to protest until the Electoral Commission had to listen to this particular demand. As I speak to you, there were initial, stand up. The police had tried to prevent the protesters from burning tires on the streets. but that particular situation were resolved. And as I speak to you, the supporters have conveyed at the party regional office where the regional executive is currently addressing them.
Ilyasu, thank you very much for that update. Ilyasu Tanko is our Northeast Region correspondent. From the Northeast Region, let's head to the Upper East Region. There also NDC supporters hit the streets, burning tires, causing traffic in major intersections in the Bolgatanga township as they embark on a similar protest. Our regional correspondent Albert Sori joins us with more on this. Albert, we understand that some of the demonstrators had accosted a young man who they identified as a spy and beat him up. Tell us more.
Yes, so just before the march began this morning, we realized that some of the demonstrators were attacking a gentleman. He ran into the premises of Senate. They chased him there and started beating him. It took the intervention of the police, who rescued him and took him away. So we had to identify who he was. But what the demonstrators said was that they suspected he is someone who has been sent by the opposition party, and he was pretending to be a national security operative, and he was spying on them. And so this is why they were attacking him.
And you spoke to the Upper East NDC Regional Secretary, Donatus Akamugri, who also gave some further explanation.
Exactly. So he just basically reiterated this, that, they know that there are some elements who have been sent to spy on them, and so they do not want such confusion because they were basically embarking on peaceful demonstration.
Once you are here, do due diligence. Already, we have observed that one of the MPP Bullocks, who declares himself as a national security personnel, came in here to go with us. And that is why we have reported to you people to take action and to make him get out of this place. Because it means the MPP is trying to put people into our group and go and cause violence and declare that it is the NDC that is doing it. So we want to plead with the Ghana Police Service that are here, that when we see anybody, any MPP member, push them out. Because we are a peaceful group. We don't want anybody to infiltrate and cause a problem and say it's the NDC. On this note, we appeal to you to help us execute it.
Albert is still with me on the line. Albert, what has the police been saying about the protest today in Bolga?
Yeah, so the police want just caution them to be, peaceful in whatever they did. Just like Ilyasu reported in the Northeast region, here in the Upper East, they tried to stop the demonstrators from burning tires, but that did not work. Basically, every intersection, every point on every road in the commercial town of Bolgatanga is currently having some tires burning there. Even in the premises of the Electoral Commission, they presented their petition. They burned a tire in the compound of the Electoral Commission. So the police was just basically trying to prevent them from destroying property or attacking people. But apart from that, they have not been able to stop them from burning of the tires or causing the traffic.
But we will appeal to you that NDC as a party has the right to do demonstration like we are doing today. But we should also know that once we have our right, others also have their right. So we will appeal to you that as we move on the road, please remain guided by the instructions of your executives and the police leadership, so that we don't also go against the right of other road users. As we move on, vehicles will also be passing. So we have to move in such a way that they can also go to their various places. If we want to burn tire or whatever it is, it should be done in an open place like a park, like this, not on the road. Because on the road, the road was built by your own money. And when you do that, you can also cause fire to some other vehicles which belong to equally the people like your group. So please, let us go by the ethics of your party, which is peace.
From the Upper East region, let's return to the capital because the majority leader, Oseche Mensah Bonsu, has added his voice to calls for the opposition NDC to head to court to contest the 2020 election result. He described the protest by the party as pedestrian, adding the battle cannot be won by going on demonstrations. He spoke on PM Express on the Journeys channel.
I think it's very pedestrian. And as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exhibit seriousness on the part of their leadership. Why? We've gone through this before. In 2012, when we felt our supporters massed up at Abrantia Sport, we then had to come and have a crisis meeting at Aliza. It was taking quite a bit of time. And some of them left that place and marched to Aliza, banging doors to stop us. That, look, we have been cheated out and you people have locked yourselves up in a room here. What should we do? We want to hit the streets. We had to conclude our meeting quickly. And then we all moved to Abrantia Sport. And the presidential candidate addressed them. The party chairman addressed them. Said, look, we can't win the battle going on demonstration. If there's anything, we have to check the record on the face of the pink sheets. And the party intends to go to court. That's what we did. That's the difference between mature leadership and what the NDC is doing now. The courts are open. Even if you are not through with your pink sheets, you want to go to court, you can go and further, perhaps later amend your records. What's wrong with that?
And you had the majority leader, Oseche Mensah Bonsu. This is your election headquarters on the Midday News on Joy 99.7 FM, brought to you in association with Petrosol, cleaned for full quantity. Cowboy Coffee, taste it, love it. McDan Shipping and Logistics Limited, your total logistics partner. Padeva Limited, your home of modern furniture. DDP Outdoor Limited, 7 great brands. Festival, adding flavors to your life. Utria Lottery, star 78 star hash, Ghana's premier and biggest jackpot lottery, and Hepa Plus mixture for your general well-being. We're taking a break on the Midday News. When we return, Africanizing Christmas, we'll tell you how craftsmen in Kumasi are trying to promote indigenous dolls or ikaba as Christmas gifts.
These dolls you see are the African version of Christmas dolls. Aside being used as Christmas dolls, in our homes, like our young ladies, they also use it as a play toy.
Place any bet by Sunday for your last chance to win big in BetPower's 1 million Ghana Cedis giveaway. Over 32,000 cash prizes have been won so far, adding up to 750,000 Ghana Cedis. With over 6,500 prizes still available, will you win the biggest of all, 120,000 Ghana Cedis? Join today at betpower.com.gh. That's betpawa.com.gh. Bet responsibly, 18 plus. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
This Bronya dear, we're going to make every moment special. Whether it's
I see you, Kipo.
There's more than enough drama series to bond over. There is something to keep you.
What are we doing today, man?
Endlessly entertained. You won't miss the action between.
My body will be better. Ronaldo or Messi.
We're not going to rescue you from Auntie's questions. So
you said when you dey marry now.
That will give you ideas. Choose DSTV this holiday season and make it your moment for only 45 Ghana cedis per month. DSTV, it's your moment.
You're welcome back to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM with me, Ernest Menu. Now, the electricity company of Ghana is blaming recent complaints of debt on some of its meters on a reconciliation problem, but says the deductions are legitimate. Some angry ECG customers who spoke to Joy News explained, although they are prepaid customers, it has been indicated that they are owing amounts ranging from 700 Ghana cedis to 1,000 cedis, with others owing as much as 2,000 cedis. Listen.
I came to buy prepaid. They are telling me that I'm owing 800 cedis. I don't understand when I buy prepaid every time and I pay for it.
I don't understand. We're just watching TV and then the lights went off and we went to check and then they said, okay, so we owe. And we use prepaid. So how this thing go fit happen?
But speaking on the Super Morning Show, General Manager in charge of metering and technical services at the ECG, Engineer Sarel Itri, explained the situation is due to a break in communication between the smart meters used by the customers.
I've listened to some of the complaints. Yes, you're a prepaid customer and you're expecting that as much as the meter hasn't got any money, you're expecting the meter to disconnect. Unfortunately, because some of them are gadgets, we have some small numbers where we have breakers that are faulty. In view of that, they don't trip. There are two different things. KWH is the consumption you use, and it has nothing to do with the tripping system. You can consume without the thing disconnecting. So as much as some are expecting it to trip and doesn't trip, doesn't mean the meter is not working. It is still recording. So that's where I see people concerned about the fact that I've consumed this, yet still I'm expecting not to have any money.
So are you thinking of making sure that you at least write some of the debt off?
I'll take this suggestion to management for us to consider it.
And still on utilities, you'll be paying for the water you use from January 2021. It's been almost 6 months since government announced its free water supply since the outbreak of COVID-19. Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Water Company, Stanley Mate, says this will cease on the 31st of December.
The President's directive was for the free water services to end the 1st of December 2020. And so per our calendar, our billing calendar, all customers must take note. When your meter is read the last time this month, and that marks the end of the free water services. And so as a result, we are asking that all vendors after the last meter reading must start selling as previously they were doing, and same as landlords who were also asked to give out the water to tenants for free. They also have to start collecting your bill.
And you heard Stanley Mate, he speaks for the Ghana Water Company. To other stories now, and Transparency International has urged the UK Financial Conduct Authority to make detailed enquiries into the government of Ghana's application to list Ijapa Royalties Limited and to reject the listing if corruption concerns are not satisfactorily addressed. In a submission to the FCA and forwarded to JP Morgan, Bank of America, International and law firm White and Case, Transparency International detailed concerns shared by a coalition of almost 30 Ghanaian and international civil society organizations that the deal smacks of corruption. I will bring you more on this in our subsequent bulletins. With just 2 days to Christmas, there are concerns among children that Santa Claus will not be able to travel to places to deliver gifts to children due to the COVID-19 situation. Well, the issue is very important to the World Health Organization, and they have been addressing a news conference on it. WHO's technical lead for COVID-19, Dr. Mariah Van Clever, says Santa is actually immune and will be around to share gifts, but with little caution. We apologize for that. We'll bring you that soundbite in our subsequent bulletins, but we can talk about Africanizing Christmas. And time for our Christmas series, and today we're talking toys. As you know, imported toys flood the markets during the festive season. Children are bombarded with an array of toys ranging from guns, cars to dolls. But can't our local craftsmen also live up to the billing? Love FM's Kwesi Deborah has been looking at how some of them are trying to cash in on this market and the problems they are facing. Here's his story.
This is the female and this is the male.
Peter Ken Appiah is head of research and publicity at the Center for National Culture, Kumasi. The center has come up with these black dolls dressed in Ghanaian cloth. The goal is to achieve what the producers term Africanizing Christmas.
They are packaged in pairs. These dolls you see are the African version of Christmas dolls. Aside being used as Christmas dolls in our homes, like our young ladies and them, they also use it as a play toy. You know, and way back we've been having these dolls cast in the white color and all those things because, you know, Christmas generally is perceived to be a foreign or a white kind of thing.
The promotion of indigenous dolls or Equiaba as a Christmas item has been unsuccessful. Edubwahi, a sculptor, blames local filmmakers for demonizing the gift item.
So from the donor, but Jim Manu Highland, and now for and don't quite a Jim Piabanoa, or Mukwa, no mass a bosom.
Filmmakers portray the crab dolls as idols. They also use it to depict witchcraft. People claim when you hang in your room, it will torment you. They cast aspersions on them when you display the central market.
When we go digital and we do all these things, people will begin to appreciate it, and then it will have this huge patronage on the local market.
Reporter for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.
And just before we go, your superstation Joy 99.7 FM has lined up activities to lighten up your Christmas with the Joy Christmas Hour from 1:15 to 2 p.m. each week. Families can call into the station and answer questions and win amazing prizes for this Christmas. You can win home appliances, phones, shopping vouchers, weekend giveaways, dinner vouchers, and many more. Now, yesterday on the show, some callers mimicked their favorite presenters on Joy.
It is Uncle Lexus Dale.
Okay, and can you mimic Lexus if...
Good afternoon, Ghanaian. Welcome to the best late afternoon show on Drive Time on Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Lexus Dale, and I am your driver. Let's have some roll call. Yo, 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 yo.
Evans Mensah. Tonight, there is a fresh detour revealing that the Japan deal is allegedly fraudulent. Stay for details.
Israelite.
Tonight, 3 suspected drum robbers being killed at Kumasi. You will be having them watching us on Joy News. I forgot to know.
And all you have to do is to stay tuned in to Joy 99.7 FM so you don't miss the buzzer when it sounds. And this continues all the way to the 26th of December. And that's it for the midday news. My name is Ernest Minnie. This morning is when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Dr. Mensa Otabil is up next with Living Word, There's God, Part 3.